All right, guys. Injuries for the game. We got D. Winters, questionable. Keon White, questionable. Trent Williams, questionable. Ricky Purcell, questionable. Gifford, questionable. Cowing, questionable. Renardo Green, questionable. Go ahead.
What's Renardo Green's injury?
He's seeing something today. I think it was foot. You didn't put it down here.
Did Pearsall get out and do anything today?
He did not.
And did Trent do anything after he warmed up?
Yeah, he was limited.
Now on Wednesday, you were less optimistic about Jacob Cowing playing, but after watching the last few days, any change of mind there?
No.
Does Ricky fall into the boat of a player who didn't practice this week who would have a chance to go on Sunday?
Yes. Yeah. Ricky's been doing this year. Jake's just different. He hasn't. This is his first practice this year. Was this week. He didn't get any training camp either.
Given that list of injuries you just went through, the Eagles have injuries as well, but you're going to be the road team. You're going back to a place where you did not have playoff success a few years ago. Different team, I understand that, but what's the mood going in? Are you focused on not having, a bad performance? Are you focused on making sure the people that are filling in the gaps are all on one mind, one accord? What's the mood of you, the coaching staff, and
Going around one of the playoffs, playing as good a football as we can, being as prepared as we can, and cutting it loose for 3.5 hours.
Considering what the injury report looks like, might you have to do more than just have the two standard elevations? Might you have to make moves on the 53-man?
Yeah, possibly, depending on how that goes. We would possibly have to do that. Yeah, you're only allowed to have 2 elevations, so if we needed more than that, we'd have to make a roster move.
We saw Fred Warner doing some stuff on the field, on a side field yesterday. If you guys were to win, would you open his practice window next week?
I haven't been told that yet.
Will he come on the flight with you guys?
I haven't asked that. Not sure.
What kind of difference has Jalen Phillips made for the Eagles?
Anytime you had a good rusher like Jalen, edge rushers, whether they're getting the production on their own or they're making those tackles play wider to honor them, to help inside, it helps the whole defense. And I think you can look at them statistically since they've had them and seen statistically what it's done, and you see the same thing on tape.
If this were not a playoff game, would players like D and Ricky be out?
I don't know. It's a big hypothetical. Last week wasn't a playoff game, and I don't look at it any different. So I'd say there's no difference in last week and this week.
whether it's moving in late today and then tomorrow in Philadelphia, have you thought about the weather, what role that plays, the swirling winds in South Philadelphia?
Yeah, I get updates on it, and right now it sounds like, as far as we're getting pretty lucky without lack of rain or snow or things like that, but it sounds like there's a chance of winds, similar to what we dealt with in Cleveland. So we'll see how it is on Sunday, and if the winds are bad, sometimes you got to deal with it for 2 quarters. If they're swirling, it could be 4, so we'll adjust accordingly.
You were 6th seed in 21 when you went into Dallas and won. Do you tap into that experience at all? And I guess how challenging has this playoff season been compared to your past ones?
We'll see. This is our first one of it, so, we last time we went on the road, we did pretty good with it, being able to finish in the NFC Championship game. It's a different challenge every time you go, different team that we have, different team that we're playing. So guys that were part of that stuff, you realize how you do it. It's one game at a time. We didn't think about having to go on the road for 3 games to try to get to the Super Bowl or anything like that. We thought of going to Dallas and trying to come up with a win. And when we pulled that off, all we thought about was Green Bay for the next 7 days. And when we pulled that off, all we thought about were the Rams for the next 7 days. So that's the main thing I can gather from that experience.
Is this the biggest challenging season you've had to get to the playoffs?
I wouldn't say so, just because we were sitting there fighting for the 1 seed in the last week. That time we had to, I think, erase a 17-point deficit to get the 7th seed in the last game of the year to get in. So, I think we had to win 6 out of our last 7 just to be that last team. So I think that was a little more challenging year to make it in. But this has had its own challenges of its own.
What have you seen from Garrett Wallow since he's been here to see if he can step in and play defense? I know he came here primarily for special teams.
Yeah. I mean, I feel very fortunate that we were able to get him, being able to take him off Denver's practice squad. We needed him when we had some guys down. I think he came in and filled in very well at a high level on special teams. And he got in on defense last week, and we thought he played well in defense too. And we'll see how it goes over the next 2 days. But just if he does have the possibility to start or anything like that, we feel very good about him, which the way we got him and when we got him, just to have that feeling, I feel fortunate to have that.
You said he addressed the team about not taking the playoffs for granted, and he had a stretch where he didn't go to the postseason. Growing up around the game like you did, you have that sobering moment. When was it for you in your career where you're like, okay, this is not every year?
I mean, it took me a while to go there. I went there my second year in Tampa as a quality control. So I guess it kind of was similar to Houston. I was a quality control. It was the second year. You didn't think much of it. But then we didn't go to it for 4 years when I was in Houston. Then it took to our third year in Washington to go. And you realize how hard it is to get there and also how quickly it can end. So you got to be all in. You don't waste this moment. You do get tired at the end of the year. It's a long grind to get to this point. But once you get to this point, you don't want it to end. And you got to work very hard and be extremely focused to make that happen. And people have gone through it before and know how hard it is to get there in any situation. I think understand that a lot more than others.
Given how young the team is, how important was it for him to say that? Because I think the example he gave was at the end of my second season, I was tired. I was kind of thankful it was over.
Yeah, I do think it's important. I think the human nature of things, like everyone is tired at the end of this year, but you have to realize what you work for, why you started doing this back in February, why we've done this throughout the year, and this is really all that it comes down to. And I told him like a month ago we had like 14 hours guaranteed in what we're judged on, and right now we have 3.5 hours left, and it's up to us to earn 3 more hours after that.
Does the team look more fresh after a normal week than it has in the last few weeks?
I think big time. I think the 3 games in 13 days, the 3 national TV games, all that stuff that I've talked about, I think it really added up. And getting a normal week plus an extra day this week, just getting 8 days. I remember seeing the players on Wednesday, and we all kind of joked that it felt like we just came back from a bye week, because it kind of did. It was our first time having a normal routine in about 3 weeks, and just getting away for a little bit. I think guys felt much more rested as the previous 3.
Random question. Sorry. You mentioned being on 17 the Rams in that game. I remember Bay jumping into the end zone and celebrating with him. Have you ever brought up that moment up with him?
No, we never mess with each other. So.
George had an interesting account of his bus ride to the stadium his rookie season, playing at Lincoln Financial. Do you have any story on that for you?
I go earlier than the buses, but I used to not get my own ride there before I was a head coach. So I do remember going there maybe the first time, because my head was asleep on the bus window, and then I thought it got shot. But it was an egg hit in the window, and it actually shattered it somehow with an egg. Maybe it was hard-boiled. But yes, be ready.
What do you think you can tell us about your ability?
Well, we're going to see. It's going to be a game time decision. We'll see. We'll see.
You feeling confident?
Yeah.
Can you compare that to how you felt a week ago this day?
Yeah, definitely more confident than how I felt a week ago.
When did you know that you'd done something? It's not obvious as you're kind of chasing down that Bears defensive back.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I've never had a little hamstring. When I felt it, I kept running because I didn't really know exactly what it was. And then as I started to slow down, it kind of started to get a little more consistent. And so I kind of realized I did something.
You know how fast you got on that play? Miles per hour?
What was it? It's close to like 18 or something. I don't know, 17 something. I'm like, I don't know.
That's not a Trent Williams record, though. Right?
No, it's not, but it was in like 15 yards or something. So, from a cold start, I think it was just like sitting on the sideline for the 45 minutes, from last time we warmed up to actually, the game started.
What's the major challenge in facing this Eagles front?
They're tops in the league for a reason. big guys in the middle. It's like just a huge collection of like 5-star recruits. You know, like a bunch of first-round picks, all just blue chippers, and they play well. Obviously, that environment is crazy. It's hard to hear, so that adds another element to it, and they feed off of it. And just a big physical bunch.
Seattle game was rough for everybody, but in the Chicago game, Austin Pleasance went in and did a pretty nice job. What kind of job do you think he did? I
think he did a great job.
Yeah.
He did a great job, yeah, for sure.
Trent, can you maybe recall like your first time going to Philly? I know Shanahan just talked about it. You're sleeping on the bus. They threw an egg.
Yeah, that was, damn, what was that? 15 years ago? I mean, every time you go in there and see Benfield, you're gonna see some middle fingers. You're gonna see a lot of stuff. So, pretty fun.
Is that fun when you have a game like you guys did in 23? When you go back there and?
Oh yeah, I mean, anytime you can go play as well as we did in that game, it should be fun. But obviously, there's a little history there. I think, that kind of, I mean, in my mind, kind of died down a little bit. Obviously, that was a few years ago, but it's still going to be an electric environment. Going into the belly of the beast.
Given your start with Washington, how much did Juice's speech about not taking the playoffs for granted resonate with you? Maybe you weren't there for it all.
Yeah.
He basically said, he addressed the team saying, don't take getting here for granted because just making the postseason is tough.
Yeah, I think that was probably after practice. I think I was in here doing some treatment or something. Yeah.
What are your thoughts on getting there?
I mean, shoot, I've been in the league close to 20 years. I probably count on one hand how many times I've been in the playoffs. So I definitely never take it for granted.
Trent, did you have like a hamstring routine for 37 years to avoid?
No, never. I just do the regular stretch, Okay, usually us big guys don't usually have a problem with that.
Right, you don't have to open it up that much.
Right.
Is it, I mean, you do have to, I mean, you're getting out there. I mean, you are moving, Is it, I mean, this is the question, is it a concern, playing with this on Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, it's always going to be a little bit of concern. I mean, obviously, I'm kind of pushing the limits on the time that's required for it. So, obviously, it'll probably be in the back of my mind for a little bit. But once I get out there and just to get the flow and adrenaline, I don't think it should be a bigger problem.